All right, so this is an example of a mixture problem. So if you plan on taking any sort of science class, chemistry, you're going to be carrying out labs that involve you doing some math like this. So in this particular problem, we're mixing two solutions and we're trying to solve for the final ratio of sugar to the solution in that final solution. So let's take a look at what we have here. So Leah has 40 grams of a solution that is 20% sugar by mass. She adds 120 grams of a solution that is 5% sugar by mass. All right, so she's got a certain volume of solution with a 20% sugar by mass, and then another volume of solution with a 5% sugar by mass. We're going to mix those solutions. So X is going to represent ratio of sugar to solution in the final solution. So we can go ahead and put that in. So ratio of sugar to solution in the final solution. All right, so next we have 0.2. So that's going to be our 20% as a decimal. And that 20% is the ratio of sugar to solution in our initial solution. So ratio of sugar to solution in our original, actually is what they call original solution. And the 40 grams is that volume of the original solution I have. Actually, you know what, it's the amount they call it. We'll get to volume in a minute. The original solution. All right, and then the 5% sugar by mass is the ratio of sugar to solution in the second, or in the added, what she's adding solution. And the 120 is the amount of solution that she's adding. All right, so now if we take that 20% as a decimal, so 0.2, and we multiply it by 40, and that's going to be our amount of sugar in the original solution. And if we take the 5%, 0.05, and multiply it by 120, that's going to be the amount of sugar in our added solution. Right, so 20% of that 40 grams is sugar, and 5% of that 120 grams is sugar. The amount of sugar in each of those solutions. So now if I add the 40 and 120, so that's the amount of solution I have in both of those solutions, I now have my total amount of solution. And if I add the amount of sugar from each, I now have my total amount of sugar in the final solution. All right, so now we want to write an equation we can use to solve for X. So they've done this for us. So they've taken the amount of sugar, created a ratio, divided that by the amount of solution. So sugar to solution ratio is what we've been talking about. So this is our sugar to solution ratio in the final solution. And so I'm going to take that expression there, 40 plus 0.05 times 120. And I'm going to put that in parentheses so that I can divide that entire expression by the 40 plus 120. I'm going to set that equal to X, because X is the ratio of sugar to solution in the final solution. Now we'll set that equal, see that that's why. So you probably caught that as I was typing. That should have been a plus sign. And I see it totally messed up on that. There we go. So before we press enter, double check everything, because you know what, it's not going to set me back because I'm not moving on, but that will set you back, and they'll probably make you do another problem like this if you make a small mistake, typing error like that. So make sure you don't. Good lesson learned. And so when you enter that equation in, they solve for X for you, and it looks like about 8 3/4% of the final solution is sugar by mass. right, so use this to help you with a mixture problem.